Deploying just about any kind of web application or service often requires setting up a domain name. A valid domain is needed, for example, to obtain SSL certificates or just to allow users to find your application by name. A record is commonly configured using the following settings. The host name for the record, without the domain name, creates a subdomain. Alternatively, it can be used to refer to the domain name itself. An IPv4 address the A record should point to, usually your server's first public IPv4 address. Private IPs cannot be reached from outside your own private network and therefore are not used for this. TTL in seconds. This is the amount of time the record is cached by a resolver. Time to live can be different between domain records and affect how fast the changes will take to propagate through the network, longer TTL making updates slower. Commonly in the range of 300 to 86,400 seconds, or 5 minutes to 24 hours. DNS a record that maps your domain name to the server's public IP address. As an example, you could add a subdomain for your application service such as git.example.com and enable an A record that points to that subdomain. The actual process of creating domain name records will depend on the domain name registrar you are using to manage your domain. Let's create a domain name with LACAM. For that, you will need to buy a hosting plan, then follow the steps in the screen. Setting up a domain name record will take a moment to propagate to other DNS servers, so it is good to get them done early. Use the tool DNS Checker to check the DNS propagation level. Follow the screen. Once the propagation is completed, the map will be tick as green everywhere you will see a server. Domain names are great for setting up recognizable and trustworthy services. While the actual process of creating DNS records will largely depend on your domain name registrar, the configuration options are mostly the same. Some registers don't allow DNS modifications, hence ensure you apply tips shared with you when buying a hosting services. In the Newt module, we will discuss about payment gateways with a deep focus on how to create a PayPal account. If you already have an account, I advise you still go through the steps. You might have some insights.